Hello, my name is Bob Bennett, and for the last 40 years I have been working on licensing issues for clients, entities, and associations that have questions about professional licensing. The reason I'm here today, though, is to talk to you about the USMLE and the potential and maybe the actuality that you've received what's known as an irregular behavior letter from USMLE. But let me give you a little background. Starting over 5 years ago, we were involved in what was known as the Optoma University investigation. This investigation dealt with score validity. I represented numerous doctors and medical students before the USMLE panel on score validation concerning how they scored, what material they used, and whether they achieved an appropriate passing score on their step examinations. Now, we all know the importance of the step examinations. If you don't pass them, your medical career is over. If you don't pass them with significant high scores, you have difficulty getting into the best residency programs. But if you take these exams and end up with an irregular behavior notation on your file, it's almost the doomsday scenario for your medical career. So let me go back and talk a minute about why we can be of help if you receive this type of letter. Now again, we first were involved in the Optoma investigation, and you see on the screen this document dealing with a letter concerning score validation. Based on over 5 years of experience in dealing with the USMLE, we feel that we have the right staff, background, and tenacity to represent you if you've received an irregular behavior letter. Now, the USMLE irregular behavior letter talks about the fact that you cannot engage in any activity that subverts or attempts to subvert the examination process. That's a pretty wide statement, a pretty broad stroke. We've had clients that have written down information during the test, put that in the pocket, and walked out. That got an irregular behavior letter. We've had clients that have taken material into the exam, have left in an inappropriate time, have appeared to be moving around too much. All of these actions can result in an irregular behavior letter, as you see on the screen. In fact, the USMLE program encourages individuals to provide information about cheating and other activity that may compromise the security and integrity of USMLE. That's an interesting statement, and the question then becomes, if you think you may have fallen into some inappropriate behavior, engaged in some type of irregular activity, would it be in your best interest to self-report before you get a letter from USMLE? That question is worthy of discussion, and we would welcome the opportunity to discuss it with you. The letter that you may have received, though, goes on and talks about what is the current topic and the current investigation dealing with the USMLE, and that is what has been posted on the USMLE forum. Apparently one student asked for CS, or asked for cases, and based on that simple question and other students, doctors, asking for the same type of information, this has led to an avalanche of investigations by USMLE. Now, this is very important because if you end up with this irregular behavior designation and it's not turned around on appeal or turned around in some other forum, your file will end up with this type of letter in it showing, as it says, irregular behavior. The USMLE Committee for Individualized Review determined that you engaged in irregular behavior in connection with this examination. A similar annotation will be included on your USMLE transcript. In other words, any residency program who asks for your USMLE documentation will get a letter and the transcript showing that you engaged in irregular behavior. Now, we recently learned in one instance that a young medical student who did get this designation continued in the residency program, was not booted out, and so there's still hope even if this type of designation comes along. But the problem with not challenging this and not following up with having a hearing, not telling USMLE that you want to appear, not preparing for that hearing, is that this type of designation of irregular behavior may follow you for the rest of your professional life. And that's not something you want to have. Other information that we have deals with this website, and you see the site here called USMLE Forum. Every example that we've come across indicates that USMLE is following almost every posting that appears on this site, the USMLE Forum site that you see here. If you say anything about wanting cases or any way imply that you want to get copyrighted, protected, confidential information, this could end up with you being investigated and receiving this irregular behavior letter. So let me summarize where we are with this. For the last 40 years, we've represented individuals like yourself who have been involved in licensing concerns, licensing hearings. Within the last 5 years, we've represented many medical students who appear before the USMLE committees. Most recently, we represented students who, because the USMLE Forum received this letter, and because of this letter, had the right to go to a hearing in Philadelphia. We went along with them and helped them as much as we could. On some of these cases, we are now handling appeals to the next level. So this is a difficult area, an area that you don't want to go by yourself, and an area that if you have a concern, we provide a free telephone consultation. We can talk it over, what's in your best interest about your future medical licensing. So as you see below in this telephone number, we would welcome the opportunity to simply discuss this with you and see where we go from there. Thank you very much. So we're standing today in the world's largest medical center in Houston, Texas. We've been talking about irregular behavior, and I wanted to bring you to this place to let you know that we know something about medicine, having worked and licensed individuals in this area for over 40 years. If you have a question about your irregular behavior letter or any communication you've had with USMLE, let our experience help you. Give us a call. There's no charge. Or come to Houston and visit the world's largest medical center.